Okay, let's make a start, inshallah. So ayah number 7 is quite long, so we're going to be doing some of it today and some of it tomorrow, inshallah. But we're doing the most of it today, inshallah. So I think there is another line, yes, but we'll do that in a minute. Okay, let's dive straight in. We'll start with the isti'adha, of course. So Sister Humaira, if you can follow after me, please. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.
Well done. Your Ra is a little bit better today, alhamdulillah. I know you've been practicing. What I'd like you to do is we are going to repeat that. Sorry about that. But what you have to do is I want you to work on two things. So one is the clarification between, or the distinction between the Hamza and the Ain. So remember, start off nice and relaxed. Then the squeeze for the A'udhu. And when you say Mina Shaytan, I want that light noon. Mina. Okay, we'll do that again. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.
أعوذ بالله let me say that again, sorry. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.
The Hamza can still be a little bit more. I'm going to leave you to just practice that, just to make sure that at the beginning you are relaxed and you're not squeezing. So just like, it sometimes still feel like you're kind of saying, It's not full blown ain, but it's almost like mixed with an ain. So maybe you need to go a little bit lower in the throat. Maybe you're going a little bit too high, close to the makhraj of the ain. So stay a little bit lower. Try that. Yeah, and you're squeezing at the moment. You're tensing. So what I want you to do is to get you relaxed. Say ha ha ha.
Ha ha ha.
Now say ha
Ha
This is better.
Ha
Again. Ha
Ha
That was, yeah, it's a little bit squeezy. The squeezes are coming back now. Inshallah, just practice this. Practice this way, where you're saying ha. Get used to saying ha first. Ha. With the ha, you're not squeezing and you're okay. And then try to then bring in the hamza. Ha. Do it straight after each other because you get relaxed for the ha, and you try to maintain that relaxed state even for the hamza. Okay, so try to inshallah work on that, inshallah. Okay, let's try the basmala. Auntie Nasreen's here, so Auntie Nasreen, if you'd like to join me for the basmala, please. Bismillah, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim.
So remember, this is the Ra's, right? So when you say I know that you are trying to make the Ra's heavy because it sounds like you start off heavy, and then what happens is they get weaker by the time you say the Ra bit, the Fatha bit, right? So I want you to say Ra, keep going with the heavy, finish the Ra, and then become light after that. So concentrate on maintaining, keep going with the heavy Ra. Ar-Ra, Ar-Rahmanir Rahim.
Ar-Rahmanir Rahim.
The second one, the Ar-Rahim, is a little bit better. We'll do it one more time. So take it more slowly. Well, take it a bit more slowly on to give you time so that you can finish the Ra and then calmly shift into a light Ha. Ar-Rah, Rah, Rah, Ar-Rahman.
Ar-Rahman.
Slow, Auntie. Ar-Rah, Ar-Rahman.
Ar-Rahman.
That's a little better. Alhamdulillah. We'll have to keep working on this, inshallah. Okay, let's dive into the ayah. We have quite a lot to do today. So I'm keen to just get started, inshallah. So we look at this first word. We have the letter waw joined with the letter ain. Okay, ain, remember, is bayniya, or the wasut letter. Is not one that we cut too short. It's also not one that we keep too long. Wa. If you find it hard for the makhraj of the ain, try going to the ha. You can practice saying wah, so you know where you're going. Wah. You're going to the same place, but this time you're going to squeeze and you're going to rely on the voice. Wah, alamu. Sister Salma, if you could try this. Wah, alamu.
وَاعْلَمُوا
Not bad. Jazakumullah khairan. You have a little slight letting go of the makhraj of the ain. So it's not a qalqala, but it's almost like a qalqala. We're going wa. I can hear you loosening up. Wa. Hold the makhraj. Wa alamu.
Yeah, sorry, I heard that as well. Wa'alamu.
That's better. You were better the first time with your mu part. This time you've got the gunna in your mu being dragged into your mad waw. So keeping the mad waw clear of the gunna. Wa'alamu.
Wa'alamu.
It's better. The first one was better than this too, right? So inshallah, just keep working on this, inshallah. I know you know what you're doing with it and you know how to practice, inshallah. So just keep going. Alhamdulillah. And we can see here, when we are looking at the next word, anna, we have now a mad waw followed by a hamza. We've seen this rule yesterday, and I think we saw it the day before yesterday too. If you can remember the name of the rule, try saying it out loud to yourself. I hope you've said it already, because I'm going to tell you now. This is mad jaiz munfasil. Okay, jaiz munfasil. So this is the one where only when you read the next hamza, then you make this mad 4 to 5 counts. If you stop on wa'alamu, supposing you're going to sneeze or you feel like you're going to cough or something, and you have to stop on wa'alamu, you're about to start reading and suddenly you have to stop. Then you are not going to read the hamza, you're stopping on wa'alamu, so you will just make it 2 counts in that case. So only on the condition that you're reading the hamza that's coming next. If you were saying wa'alamu anna, then it becomes 4 or 5 counts. Okay. The anna, we have a noon mushaddad. Noon mushaddad has the longest gunna, so we keep this going. Anna. We have the word fiikum. Fi, of course, is 2 counts, nice and light. Kum. Now remember, kum, we've seen the word hum. So we have to remember how to say this. Hum. Kum, the movement of the lips going from the circle shape of the ku or the hu, and then the meme, nice back to the relaxed position. And the meme is also a tawassut letter. It's one of the ones that, again, you stay on for a little bit. Fi kum, kum. So you just stay on it for a little bit. Then we have the word rasula. The ra here is heavy because it has a fatha on it. Rasul. Now here we do have to be a little bit careful. When we say Rasula, the su, it's very easy when you have a scene, especially a scene with a dhamma, coming after a heavy ra, it's very easy to make the scene sound like a sad. Because what happens is you say a heavy ra, you end up making the scene heavy, and you end up pronouncing it as Rasul. It becomes like a su, which is like a sad. You have to be very careful to keep the scene light. So you have to be very careful for after pronouncing a heavy ra, you want to go straight to a light scene. And sometimes it helps to almost like start again. So when you say ra, and the way that you say ra, and your mouth is in the heavy position, you've just pronounced a heavy ra, your jaw's kind of moved a little bit down, ra, like that. Then don't start the scene from the ending of the ra. What I mean by that is don't say ras and then start the scene from ras, and then go for the scene straight away. Ra, then go back to the default. Ra, rasu, rasu, rasu. See, it sounds different to rasul, which is heavy. And you notice I didn't go to the default position that time. Okay, so if you don't relax your lips after the ra, this is very easy to make the scene heavy. I'll do that again. If you're saying it incorrectly and you don't go back to the default position, this is the wrong way. Rasul, rasul, rasul. But you want to say rasul, 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 su. See how I say ra, su. I don't spread my lips too much. I'm not saying like this, right? It's just ra, su. You don't have to stay in that relaxed position too long, then go for the dhamma. Okay, but that should help. And then this is 2 counts, so rasul. And then the next thing I want to discuss is here, the lambs. Okay, here we have, I want you to think to yourself, how many lambs do we have here? Okay, it looks like 2, right? But you've got 1 here, which is rasula. And actually in the name of Allah, because of this shadda, you actually have 2 lambs that you're reading in the name of Allah. Okay, so you have rasula, and then you have the one joining Allah, the one which is joint al, followed by Allah. So you have the sakin followed by the maftuh. Okay. Now, the only time that the letter lam is heavy is in the name of Allah. And we've discussed this before, right? When the lam is in the name of Allah, then and only then might it be heavy, or it could be light. Okay, and it depends. So remember we said, for example, Bismillah, when it's preceded by a kasra, then the lam in the name of Allah will be light. If it has a fatha or a dhamma before it, then the lam in the name of Allah is heavy. But it's only the lams in the name of Allah that are heavy, not the lam, not this one before it. Okay, so this is the one that we have to keep light. This one is not part of the name of Allah. This one is part of the word Rasul. So we say here, Rasulah, nice light la, Rasulallah, Rasulallah. Okay, so you pronounce the first lam light, and all the others, both of the second two are heavy. Let's try this, Sister Humaira. Rasulallah.
Rasulallah.
Okay, the scene was a little bit on the heavy side, so you can make that lighter still. Rasulallah.
Rasulallah.
It's better. The other thing I want you to do here, and this is for especially those of you who are a little bit further along your journey with your tajweed and a little bit more confident with it, what I want you to do is, after saying the heavy lam, I want you to shift to a light ha. So don't keep your, again, don't, because the ha is a light letter at the end when you're stopping on the ha, don't keep your lips in or mouth in the position of the heavy lam. So I want you to relax after, when you relax your lips when you get to the ha, like this. Allah.
Allah.
That's a bit better, but the makhraj is, you need to go a little bit lower for your ha here. Allah.
Allah.
That's a little bit better. That's a little bit better. Jazakumullah khairan. Let's try this whole part of this ayah, please. وَاعْلَمُوا أَنَّ فِيكُمْ رَسُولَ اللَّهِ
وَاعْلَمُوا أَنَّ فِيكُمْ رَسُولَ اللَّهِ.
Okay, anna. Oh, back to the hamza again. I just realized. Back to the light hamza. Anna.
Anna.
This one was better. We just need it more shidda. Anna. Sorry, I said that wrong. Let me say that again. Anna.
Anna.
Yes, this is better. And again, Rasulallah.
Rasulallah.
Not bad, alhamdulillah. Jazakumullah khairan. Let's go into the next part. We have the word law. Law, again, the lam heavy. We've seen this before. The waw is rakha, while we stay on it, and it's nice and light. Law, law. We have yuti'ukum. Now the ta, we've seen a letter similar to this before. We saw the word sad with a kasra in the word an tusibu yesterday. The ta is like sad in that not only is it heavy, not only is it a letter which is musta'ali, in other words, it has isti'la, or it's heavy, but it also has that extra level of heaviness, or the itbaq. So what do we do here? We don't just say yuti, it's yuti, just how we said an tusibu. Okay, we say law yuti'ukum, not just a light, it has this extra heaviness to it. And remember, it's all to do with the direction of the sound. Remember, you want the sound to go towards the middle of the upper palate. It's a bit more, the direction of the sound is a bit more vertical. Okay, so you're not just going diagonally in the mouth. Okay, but you're going a little bit, remember, towards the middle of the upper palate. That's where you want to go for that one. And so that gives it that extra heaviness, that echoey sound. Okay, Sister Salma, if you could try this for me, please. لو يطيعكم.
لو يطيعكم.
Not bad. And then we have the word في كثير. So after saying يطيع, now remember the طي is 2 counts. We prolong this one. يطيعكم. But be careful not to prolong the ain. Again, ain is one of those letters we like to spend time on it because it requires a bit more effort. But we're not supposed, in this case, it hasn't got a mud letter with it. It's only 1 count. So don't prolong it and say يطيعكم, for example. Okay, يطيع يطيعكم. Okay, this is just something to bear in mind for those of you at home. We have the word fi, which is 2 counts. Okay, so don't rush this fa. It's got the madya, sorry, with it. So you prolong it for 2 counts. لو يطيعكم في. Sister Salma?
لو يطيعكم في
Not bad. جزاكم الله خيرا. Then we have the word كثير من. Now the kaf is the light kaf. This is the one that's a little bit more forward in the mouth, in that it's where the soft and the hard palate meet. Remember, this is a ka, nice and light. كثير. Now the tha is 2 counts. Now be careful with the makhraj of the letter tha. This tha is not a sa sound, which is quite common amongst certain nationalities. For this one, your tongue comes out a little bit. Kathi, right? Your tongue is not inside. Okay, it touches the bottom edge of the upper 2 incisors. Tha, thi, kathirim min, kathirim min. Now here we have what we call idgham kamil bi ghunna. So this is where instead of saying rin, kathirin, we replace the noon with a meme. كثير من, and we prolong that joining, we hold it. Okay, كثير من, كثير من. If you could try that onto the screen.
كثير من.
Not bad. The kaf can be a little bit lighter. كثير من.
كثير من.
جزاكم الله خيرا. After, so I mean, I stopped, and that, which is why I put the sukoon on the noon. But this is actually originally this word is understood as min. I'm sure Sister Zuleika is going to be covering this with you, inshallah, in the next section. Here we say minal. The noon is joined with the lam. For those of you that have studied Tajweed before, this is because of iltiqa as-sakinain, the meeting of the 2 sukoons. And the resulting solution for this is that we add a fatha to the noon and we say minal amri. Now here we have a lam sakin and a mim sakin, right? Both of these are tawassut letters. So we have to have our balance, that we hold each of these the same time. Minal, how long you stay on that lam? You spend the same amount of time saying minal amri, minal amri. They are both tawassut, so they're both the same. So neither of them should be either shorter than another or longer than the other. Okay. Then we have the ra here is kasra, so this ra is light. We don't say ri, we say just ri, minal amri. Then we have the word la'anittum, la, 1 count, ain, 1 count. Ni is joined to the ta, la'anittum, la'anittum. And with the tum, we are moving our lips in the similar way that we did for the kum and the hum. Okay, so we're saying tu, circle the lips, move away from the circling when you come back to the meme. Okay, Sister Salma, let's try this one from low till the end. لو يطيعكم في كثير من الأمر لعنتم.
لو يطيعكم في كثير من الأمر لعنتم.
Yes, your ra can be a little bit lighter. من الأمر.
من الأمر.
Yeah, at the moment you're saying like, I'm hearing like a re. So all I want your tongue to do is when you say re, the tip of the tongue literally just goes straight up, straight down. So if you find that you're pushing a bit forward with your tip of your tongue, or you're going, I think you're going a little bit forward, you don't want to be going just straight up, straight down. So don't let your tongue come to the top and then slide, forwards a little bit, straight down. Min al-amri.
من الأمر.
This is better. This is better, mashallah. Good. Just keep working on it, inshallah. Good. Alhamdulillah. Let's go on to the next part, inshallah. We have the word walakin Allah. Now here you have again the waw is nice and light. The lam is 2 counts. Wala. Okay. Now here we have a noon mushaddad. We said whenever we have a noon or a meme with a shadda on it, we prolong the joining. So we will be doing that again. Walakin. Okay, walakin, you hold that bit. When you join the noon to the lam, now again, with the name of Allah here, the lam is heavy again. Why? because the letter before it has a fatha, just like it did in this part that we saw at the beginning of the ayah. Rasul, the lam before it also had a fatha. So so we've got the same thing kind of going on here. Okay, so we want to keep the lam, both lams in the name of Allah heavy, but we want to keep this noon nice and light. ولكن الله ولكن الله Sister Salma?
ولا ولكن الله
Not bad. You can make the ha at the end a little bit lighter. Ha at the end. ولكن الله
ولكن الله
Good, alhamdulillah. Okay, then we have the next word, which is habbaba. Habbaba. Now here, when you're joining the ha with the ba, when you up until here, you are not letting go of the makhraj. You do not say habbaba, right? It's habba, habba, and then you add the final ba. Habbaba, habbaba, habbaba. Okay, so you only when you say habba, you only go to the makhraj or the articulation point once. You don't press the lips together and then go and say hab, and then say ba, right? Habbaba, walakin Allah habbaba ilaykum. The word ilaykum, we have the one count light hamza, lay. Now when you join this, be careful not to say ilay. Ilay is quite common. You say la, lam fatha la, and then you're joining it with a ya. So you keep the la sound. Lam fatha ya spoon lay, ilay, not ilay, ilay. And the ya is a rakhawa letter, so you stay on it. Ilaykum, ilaykum. Let's try this onto the screen from the top. It's not from the top, it's just from walakin. Walakin Allah habbaba ilaykum.
ولكن الله حبب إليكم.
Yes, jazakumullahu khairan. I've just seen, Sister Anawara, your question. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Yes, you can share the live stream with others, but the key thing is that as long as it's sisters only, because our videos are only for sisters, and please do remind them also not to make sure that they have their headphones and their earphones. You know, the reminders we did at the beginning, to make sure that no men can, inshallah, look in. Jazakumullahu khairan. Okay, so coming back. So I'll make you say that one more time, Auntie. وَلَكِنَّ اللَّهَ حَبَّبَ إِلَيْكُمْ.
ولكن الله حبب إليكم.
Yes. What I want you to do, Auntie, is when you say habbaba ilaykum, you're kind of stopping at the end of habbaba. I want you to be fluent. I want you to, after you finish the ba, I want you to go straight to the hamza. So instead of saying habbaba ilaykum, see that pause in the middle? I want you to just say habbaba ilaykum.
حبب إليكم.
That's better. That's better. Jazakumullah khairan. Also, you know, in the name of Allah, when you're saying the lam, you have like a wave in it. So you kind of say, walakin Allah. You see this kind of wavy type sign. When you go to the makhraj of the lam, remember you come straight down. Don't spread the lips. Okay, so let your jaw just drop downwards, not too much, like this. Walakin Allah. So you're not saying, because when you get the wave, you kind of go la, your lips will start to spread. So whereas you're saying the la, keep your lips just straight down. Let's try that again. وَلَكِنَّ اللَّهَ.
ولكن الله.
It's better. It's better. The only thing you need to work on, Auntie, inshallah, I'd like you to practice. The lam is much better in terms of the wave. Is just when you join between the noon and the lam, that first lam, the joining one needs to be heavy too. Okay, so what's happened is the first lam is kind of light, and then the second lam you make nice and heavy, and you fix the wave. So mashallah, you're getting there. Alhamdulillah. Jazakumullahu khairan. Then we have ilaykumul. Again we have iltiqa as-sakinain here with the this word was ilaykum, and here the solution to the iltiqa as-sakinain is that we add a dhamma. For those of you who are new to this and are first timers or beginners, that may have gone over your head. Iltiqa sakinin, thinking, what is the iltiqa sakinin? Don't worry. This is for that piece of information is for the sisters who are a little bit more either intermediate or advanced level. Okay, so here we say ilaykumul. The meme is joined with the lam, and we have to make sure that we say kumu, not komu. We cannot say komu, kumu. Ilaykumul iman. I'm going to keep going till the end because we are a little bit pushed for time. So I'm going to keep going till the end, and inshallah we'll come back and then put the whole ayah together. Ilaykumul iman. Then we have e. Now remember, relax for the hamza. Ilaykumul not or any kind of tensing in the throat, just nice and relaxed. It's 2 counts. The meme is also 2 counts because it has this alif saghira with it. And then you have the noon at the end. Ilaykumul iman. If you're going to carry on, ilaykumul imana. Then we have the word wazayyanahu. Now here, remember yesterday we mentioned about the ya mushaddad or the waw mushaddad. We have something called nabar. So we do that again here. We kind of emphasize that the ya has a shadda. How do we do that? By emphasizing the syllable of zay. وَزَيَّنَهُ وَزَيَّنَهُ. Not, we do not say وَزَيَّنَهُ. See, zay, it's very gentle. وَزَيَّنَهُ. That's pronouncing it without the nabur. So you need that extra sort of quickness and slight raising of the voice when you say zay. And this makes the listener know, this ya is joined to the za. وَزَيَّنَهُ وَزَيَّنَهُ. Fi, again, we've seen before, is 2 counts. قُلُوبِكُمْ. The qaf, remember, soft palate one now. We're going further back. Remember the diagonal movement back in the M&M suite that we spoke about? Ooh. Then we have the lu, which is 2 counts and nice and light. Ulu, ulu, not olu, o. You don't want to be saying o, you want to say ku. Ulu, qulubikum. The nice e sound to our ba. Qulubikum, bi. And then kum, we've discussed before. Okay. So let's take this from the beginning, inshallah. See if we can put this together. Okay, Sister Humera, if you'd like to do the first line with me, please. وَاعْلَمُوا أَنَّ فِيكُمْ رَسُولَ اللَّهِ.
وَاعْلَمُوا أَنَّ فِيكُمْ رَسُولَ اللَّهِ.
Yes, be careful not to stop after fikum, because you're doing, you remember what I mentioned to Auntie about habbaba ilaykum? It's like in English, if I was to talk like this, it's like after stopping after each word, you kind of stop. So with the Quran, that's how it's sounding when you say that. So if you pause after each, because in English, we just keep going. So you do the same thing with the, when you're reading the Quran as well. And even if you're just normal speaking Arabic, right? So you will say, أن فيكم رسول الله.
أَنَّ فِيكُمْ رَسُولَ اللَّهِ.
Better. Just don't forget your ha. You forgot about the light ha at the end. But inshallah, just keep that in mind and practice, inshallah. Okay, so for the next part, inshallah, Sister Zuleika, you ready?
Yes, inshallah.
Okay.
I'm the person today.
Okay, alhamdulillah. Okay. لو يطيعكم في كثير من الأمر لعنتم.
لو يطيعكم في كثير من الأمر لعنتم.
Yes, just that last word again. لعنتم.
لعنتم.
Good, mashallah, barakallah fi. That's very nice, alhamdulillah. And then Sister Salma, if you want to join me for the last part. وَلَكِنَّ اللَّهَ حَبَّبَ إِلَيْكُمُ الْإِيمَانَ.
ولكن الله حبب إليكم الإيمان.
The lean, you need to just
Ilay.
clarify the lean here. Ilay, not ile or il. I don't think I copied you exactly there, but it was something like ile, that kind of thingy. So let's say this again. حبب إليكم الإيمان.
حبب إليكم الإيمان.
Good, alhamdulillah, jazakumullah khairan. Auntie Nasreen, let's continue from there. حبب إليكم الإيمان وزينه في قلوبكم.
Oh, sorry. From where, Salma? Habbaba,
So-
yeah?
That's right, yeah.
Habbaba ilaykumul imana wazayyanahu fi qulubikum.
Okay, so just be careful. So one, just a couple of things, Auntie. So when we say habbaba ilaykum, it's coming back to that again. You
Mhm.
did try to continue this time, which was very good. The only thing you did, which you didn't do before, is you ended up prolonging the ba and saying habbaba is a little bit too long. So remember, just one count straight to the hamza. Habbaba ilaykum.
Habbaba ilaykum.
Much better. Jazakumullah khairan. And the other thing, Auntie, is when you said وَزَيَّنَهُ فِي قُلُوبِكُم, here this ha does have the waw saghira with it. It's 2 count. It's a mad sila sughra. You didn't do the mud, so you made it. So this time you went the other way. So you should have done the mud, but you missed it out. Okay, so this is quite important. You need to make sure that you extend that for 2 counts, then go to the fa. So let's try this bit again. وَزَيَّنَهُ فِي قُلُوبِكُم.
Wazayyanahu fi qulubikum.
That was better. That was better. Jazakumullahu khairan. I'm sorry, I have got a little bit over time today, so I'll stop there, inshallah. Allahumma taqabbal minna. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.